Here's something nobody wants to hear. The biggest obstacle in your path isn't external. It's the voice in your head that's been running the same script for years. You know the one I'm talking about. The voice that shows up right when you're about to try something new. The one that has 1,000 reasons why now isn't the right time, why you're not quite ready, why someone else is better positioned to succeed. The comfortable prison. Most people live their entire lives in a mental prison they don't even recognize as confinement. The bars are made of old beliefs, borrowed doubts, and fears dressed up as logic. And the worst part? The door's been unlocked the whole time. I've watched brilliant people accomplish nothing, while others with half their talent build empires. The difference was never about resources or timing or luck. It was about what they believed was possible. Your brain's primary job isn't to make you successful, it's to keep you alive. And to your brain, alive means the same as yesterday. Change equals risk. Risk equals potential danger. So your mind will manufacture incredibly convincing reasons to stay exactly where you are. Two people, same crisis, different outcomes. Consider two people who get laid off on the same day. Same savings account, same bills, same shock to their system. The first person's internal dialogue spirals. This proves I'm not good enough. The job market is terrible. I'll never find something this good again. What if I can't provide for my family? The second person thinks, this is the push I needed. I've been too comfortable. What if this is actually opening a door I didn't know existed? 6 months later, they're living completely different lives, not because their circumstances were different, but because their interpretations were different. The story you tell yourself about what happens to you matters more than what actually happens. The myth of perfect conditions. Your mind loves to sell you on perfect conditions. When I have more money, then I'll start. When I feel more confident, then I'll try. When the timing is better, then I'll make my move. Perfect conditions are a mirage. They exist only in the distance, and they retreat at the exact same pace you approach them. Meanwhile, people who accomplish extraordinary things share one trait. They started before they were ready. They took action while still afraid. They built the plane on the way down. Retraining your operating system. The good news, your mental programming isn't permanent. The neural pathways that keep running the same old patterns can be rewired, but it requires conscious, consistent effort. Every time you notice a limiting thought, you have a choice. You can accept it as truth, or you can examine it like a detective. Is this actually true, or is this just my fear talking? What evidence do I have? What would happen if the opposite were true? Most limiting beliefs dissolve under scrutiny. They're just thoughts you've been thinking for so long that they feel like facts. The action-motivation sequence. Here's what most people get backwards. They wait to feel motivated before taking action. But motivation is actually a result of action, not a prerequisite. You don't need to feel like going to the gym. You go to the gym and then you start feeling like someone who works out. You don't need to feel like a writer. You write and the identity follows. The people you admire aren't motivated every day. They're disciplined every day. They show up regardless of how they feel, and the momentum they build creates its own energy. The cost of inaction. Playing it safe has a price tag people rarely calculate. You avoid the temporary discomfort of trying and potentially failing, but you pay with permanent regret. You protect yourself from embarrassment, but you sacrifice discovering what you're capable of. 20 years from now, you won't regret the things you tried that didn't work out. You'll regret the things you never tried because you convinced yourself the timing wasn't right. From passenger to driver. Right now, you have two options. You can continue letting your default mental programming run your life, or you can take control of it. Taking control means noticing when fear is masquerading as wisdom. catching yourself in the act of making excuses, choosing thoughts that open doors rather than close them, acting before you feel ready, treating discomfort as evidence of growth rather than danger. This isn't positive thinking, this is reality-based thinking. It's refusing to create problems that don't exist. It's choosing to see challenges as obstacles to solve rather than reasons to quit. The daily practice. Changing your mind isn't a one-time decision, it's a daily practice. Every morning, your brain will try to run the old programs. Every difficult moment, your mind will suggest the familiar path of least resistance. Your job is to interrupt those patterns, to pause, to ask better questions, to choose different thoughts. Not fake thoughts that you don't believe, but thoughts that actually serve the life you're trying to build. What would the person you want to become think about this situation? How would they respond? What would they do next? Start acting like that person now, before you feel like that person. The identity shift will follow the action. The truth about transformation. Nobody is coming to save you. No perfect moment is arriving. No external change will fix an internal problem. But here's the empowering truth. You have more control than you think. Not over what happens to you, but over how you interpret and respond to what happens. And that response determines everything. Your mind is either building your future or protecting your past. It's either expanding your possibilities or reinforcing your limitations. And you get to choose which one it does, thought by thought, decision by decision, day by day. The question isn't whether you're capable of more. The question is whether you're willing to think differently enough to find out.